we're going to look at parallel lines. Now, the first thing that we need to remember about straight line graphs is the equation, okay? So we have y equals mx plus c, where the m value is the gradient, so that's the steepness of the graph, and the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. Now, if we take, for example, the line y equals 2x plus 1, then this has the gradient of 2 and it has a y-intercept at 1. So if we look at this on a graph, then this is the line here and it has a difference of 2 in the y direction for 1 in the x direction, and that gives us the gradient, because remember the gradient is the difference in y divided by the difference in x, and in this case the difference in y is 2 and the difference in x is 1, so it's 2 divided by 1, which is 2. So this gives us our gradient of 2. Now it crosses the y-intercept at 1 because the constant value that's after the x is plus 1. So we see on the graph here that the line is crossing the y-axis at 1. So this is why this line is y equals 2x plus 1. Now, for any line that is parallel to this, it should have the same gradient, because if you draw in a line that is parallel to it, then what you should be able to see is that the lines are parallel, okay, but they have the same difference in y over difference in x, okay, 2 and 1. The only difference with this line is that it's crossing the y-axis at 3. So this is the line of y equals 2x plus 3, okay? So when two lines are parallel, they have the same gradient, okay, the same rise over run, but the point at which they cross this y-axis is different. So this line crosses at 1, this line crosses at 3. So if we go back to here, you could write any line which is parallel to this would have y equals 2x plus or minus something here. So I showed on the other sheet that was an example. You could have anything really, 2x minus 3, y equals 2x minus 50. It could be anything as long as you have this y equals 2x. Now what is important is that it is y equals, because if it's anything else, for example, if we look at 2y minus 4x equals 1, then I know that if a pupil was asked what is the gradient of this line, they would automatically say minus 4, because that is the value next to the x. But the problem with this is that it isn't in the form that we need the line to be in. So what we have to do is we have to rearrange this. So if I move this across the equals sign, so it becomes 2y equals 4x plus 1, and then I divide everything by 2, then my equation becomes y equals 4 divided by 2 is 2x, 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. So this line that we started with here is still parallel to this one, because when we rearrange it, we have y equals 2x. So this is still parallel because we have the gradient. We can't quote the gradient here because it's not in the form y equals, so we have to rearrange.